Good morning, Olive, Arlo, and Frank. Grandpop coming to you from the living room in Jacksonville Beach. And today we're going to be in my treasury of Christmas stories. Once again, we're getting closer and closer to Christmas, and we've been learning some of the traditional stories about Christmas. These aren't necessarily true stories, but they're stories, and they're part of who we are as a culture. Here in modern day America, they've become part of our fabric. Who knows if that'll remain? There's a lot of people that think we shouldn't celebrate Christmas at all, but hey, we do. Anytime that we celebrate something that talks about peace and goodwill on earth, it seems like a good thing. It's early in the morning, the sun is not up yet. It comes up pretty soon, so we're a little light challenged here, but today we're gonna look at the little Fir-Tree. I'm doing Kilroy. Kilroy was here. You don't know what that is, Kilroy was here. But that's okay. You'll learn about Kilroy. Deep in the forest, quite hidden from view, among the tall pines, a small fir tree grew. The taller trees laughed when they heard the fir moan. I wish I were taller. I can't wait till I'm grown. So it's just like little kids. You probably wish you were taller or older. Not all three of you. Frank, you don't probably want to be taller unless you're going to try out for the NBA, and I doubt you are. You may still want to be older, but you shouldn't. 22 is a pretty good age. In fact, Arlo, 4 is a pretty good age, and you just turned 4, and Olive, 4 months old is a pretty good age, and that's what you just turned. But kids want to grow up, they want to become adults. And so this little fir tree wants to become an adult fir tree. The forest is fun, the small fir tree was told. Live for the moment, don't wish to be old. And here's all the stuff with the fir tree. And it's in the forest. All the animals are there, peeing up against them. 2 winters passed, then trees were chopped down, trimmed of their branches and taken to town. Where are they going, the little tree wails? They're off to the ocean to hold up some sails. Oh, I wish I were taller, the small fir tree sighed. Then I'd be a proud mast and sail far and wide. So there it is, and there's a boat, and it's a sailboat. All boats back in the day that this was written, well, probably were sailboats. There might have been some steamboats at the time. I don't know when any of these stories were written exactly. Oh, wow, your grandmother would love this. He's been crabbing, and he has crabs there. What's this little boat up here? That's another sailboat up here. That sailboat's far out, coming into the dock. Soon it was Christmas, and men came around. to dig for tall fir trees from the frozen ground. Now those trees are special, a small robin cried. They're decked out in baubles, taken inside. Oh my, what an honor, the small fir tree said. Rather than sailing, I'll do that instead. So it wants to be chopped down. See, if it became a sailboat, it would, a mast on a sailboat, it would last for a long time. And we have the guys, there's a sleigh up there. Remember, we've been talking about a sleigh. That's to go through the snow. So it's like two skates underneath there, ice skates. And it's dragged by horses. Although this is just guys dragging it. Ooh, there's mice down here. Your grandmother would hate that. She hates mice. I'm not real fond of them myself. Like, they look a lot better in these books than in person. Another year passed, and Christmas Eve dawned. The woodsmen are coming, the curly bird warned. Oh my, what a beauty, the old woodsman cried, and dug up the small fir tree, who trembled with pride. So they're not cutting it down, they're digging it up. Some of these trees, they cut down trees to make masts out of them. But maybe they're making a potted Christmas tree. At last, sighed the fir tree as he left the warm earth, the time has arrived to show off what I'm worth. And there, you see the guy digging up the tree and smoking his pipe. And he's got his dog with him. But when he was leaving, he didn't feel glad. Instead, he felt tearful and terribly sad. He called to the birds, the rabbits and deer, and all of the friends that he'd grown up so near. And with that farewell, he was carried away and thrown on the back of a bumpy old sleigh. And there he is. He's on the back of a sleigh. So he's going for a ride. He got his wish, and now he's scared. There's an expression, be careful what you wish for, because you might get it. Arriving at a grand house beneath the full moon, the fir tree was put in a magnificent room, decked out with tinsel and finished with bows. The fir tree was splendid from his head to his toes. The children clapped and shouted with glee as the fir tree stood proudly, a tall, handsome tree. And so here these men are leaving with the sleigh that they used to bring the tree. And you can see the tree up here inside the window. See it? And all these animals are looking in at it. It's probably his buddies, because I think they just went in the woods outside of their house and got this. It's not like they dragged it halfway across the country. So these animals here are his buddies, I'm sure. Going, hey, look. On Christmas Day, from his green boughs, children picked presents for hours and hours. Then there was dancing and feasting and drinking. Feasting is eating a lot. My new friends adore me and seem very kind. He forgot to feel sad that he'd left his friends behind. So they are his friends. They were there. So here we see the kids are all pumped up about this. Doesn't show presents under the tree, but hey, we have some presents under our tree. And there's his buddies around the field now. Oh, there's presents up here. I don't know why they show them up here. Guess they didn't want the thing to be too busy. And as day turned to evening, a story was told that dazzled the Fir-Tree with deeds brave and bold. When it was over, he swayed with delight as the room emptied with calls of good night. What joy, thought the Fir-Tree. I'm glad that I came. I can't wait till tomorrow for more of the same. And so now we see the tree with the presents underneath it, and there's maybe a grandmom telling us, grandmom telling the little baby a story, and the two kids are there listening to the story. Yeah. So he thinks he's going to stay there. Hey, this is great. We're going to do this every day. The proud Fir-Tree thought, this is where I belong. But when morning dawned, it seemed he was wrong. Dragged from the fine room, he was bundled away and thrust in an old shed with no light of day. Then out of the darkness, he heard something squeak. He felt his twigs rustle, heard the patter of feet. Oh, there's mice down here. So he's getting dragged to the shed, and there's the mice there. Grandmother would hate these illustrations. Although you have a tool shed like this up there in Chattanooga, but yours is black. Hello, said a white mouse. Why are you here? Tell us your story, as we see in the new year. And he told tales of his youth long ago, of the birds, the animals, and the deep crispy snow. As the mice gasped in wonder at all he had done, the tree understood that the forest had been fun. And so he's lamenting, like, oh, I was real happy out there in the forest. And he hasn't even dealt with the fact that he's going to die. Even though they dug him out, they didn't take all his roots out. So he wishes he was out there in the forest with his buddies and not in with these mice. There's mice everywhere. There's mice climbing all over them, and they're up in the tree, and yuck. It's a creepy story, huh? I just got a text message, so I had to get that off the screen there. And so the tree slumbered away in the shed, dreaming of forests and fresh air instead, till he was shaken and woke by the noise of children who'd come in search of their toys. Look, it's our Fir-Tree, a little voice cried. Let's shake off the dust and plant it outside. See, I see where this is going. In here. They don't call them a Christmas tree, they call them just a Fir-Tree. So they don't want to take them outside. The little kid has the shovel. And from that beginning, much to his surprise, the Fir-Tree grew strong and terribly wise. Now down in the garden the big fir tree grows, spreading the wisdom of all that he knows. Youth is a blessing and nature is best. Live for the moment and not for the rest. So now he's telling people exactly what he was told, and that's the way of life. Kids think they know everything, and they don't know doodly squat. Most parents don't know much either, but that's a different story for a different day. And there he is out there in the garden near the house. His buddy's coming to him again. The reindeer and the rabbit. And I guess that's a squirrel down there. Sheep. Sheep over here. I don't see any mice. Sheep right here. Merry Christmas and peace out. Goodwill to man.